So, hi Leonie,
Hiya.
my name's Emily. Thank you so much for joining us for our Law Employability video project. I'm going to talk you through some questions about yourself and your role, and by all means you can share any other advice that you've got for our students. All right, so first could you start by introducing yourself and tell us what your role is?
So my name's Leonie Rowe and I am a trainee legal executive in the conveyancing department.
Lovely, thank you. What type of work do you undertake, Leonie, in your role as a trainee?
I basically do the job. I do the job that anyone does qualified anyway. So I buy and sell houses, flats, we do leasehold, freehold, car parks, all that sort of thing. I have about 70, 80 files and I run them by myself without assistance. So yeah, wow. I'm quite far progressed as a trainee, but I've been doing the job for like 3 years.
Right.
So I kind of progressed anyway and then decided to do Silex to get the sort of title.
Right. And what type of activities do you find? Are you going to meetings? Are you quite desk-based? You know, are you out and about? What kind of work are you doing in terms of?
Conveyances in Plymouth vary, so
Right.
you'll find some people like to be at their desk answering phones and not being as client-based,
Right.
whereas I like to meet all my clients. So they're generally surprised when they say, am I speaking to the person dealing with the case? And I'm like, yeah, because a lot of the time they don't really get that interaction.
Right.
My day, generally I meet clients, I like to meet agents that I have connections with just to see how they're going. And then, yeah, a lot of desk-based work, really.
Okay, thank you. So our next questions are really about your kind of career development and your training. So why did you choose the legal sector?
I chose it when I was like 15 because I was fascinated with criminals, so I liked criminal law. But then as I got older, I realised criminal law wasn't the easiest sector to get into. So I had a gap year at uni, and I literally applied to every law firm because I wanted to fill my gap year of experience, because experience, although grades are important, experience is probably more important than grades,
Right.
I would say. So I was like going to firms and saying, just employ me, I don't care what you want me to do, pay me what you want, I don't care. And one firm, a local firm, offered me a job in conveyancing. I obviously bit their hand off because I wanted the experience. I didn't even know what conveyancing was at the time, I don't think. So I started doing that, went back to uni to finish my last year, and then I booked a one-way trip to Magaluf to go away for the summer. And then somebody contacted me that I knew, a recruitment agent, and they were like, do you want a job? And I was just like, well, I'm going away, I don't really want a job, but I'll go to the interview just to see what it's like. And they were like, if you want to go away, that's fine, we'll wait for you because we've been looking for someone for a while with experience. You obviously have experience. And I just thought, I can't say no, really. So I went away. I was supposed to go away for a month, but I went away for a week and then came back and started straight away.
Right.
And then I've been doing it ever since, and I just love my job. I never thought I'd like conveyancing, but I couldn't think of me being in a different area of law, to be honest.
Great. What attracted you to Silex training in particular?
It's probably not the best answer, but I picked it because I thought it was the easiest. I don't like studying, I don't like revising, I don't like reading books. I really don't like anything educational. And Silex, I just compared Silex to the LPC, and I thought Silex you do 2 exams and 5 pieces of coursework. LPC, I'm going to be doing it for a year. I have my head, 2 years part-time. I have my head in the books, be full of coursework, and I don't really want to do coursework, so I just said I want to do Silex. So on my review, it was after I'd been here a year. Because I'm quite dedicated, I like to just progress quickly. So I said to my boss, I want to do the Silex. And he called them, and it started a week before. He was like, if you want to do it, we need to do it today, sign now. So I just signed, and then we cracked on.
Great, so you really seized the opportunity.
Yeah.
Did you say you went to university?
Yeah, I went to the University of Law in London for 2 years, had a gap year. The gap year wasn't to get experience, it was because I wanted to move closer to home, and to join Bristol I had to have a gap year because they weren't as far ahead as I was.
Right.
So they said you've got to have a gap year, and I just said that's fine, filled it with experience, and then went to Bristol for my last year.
And was that to study law?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've had quite a varied experience educationally and in yourself, and you sound very industrious. Is that how you describe yourself? So quite ambitious and hardworking.
I like to move really quickly. For my sort of level, I would say I'm quite far progressed, but I've had the help of the firm. Walcombe Young are really good at pushing their staff forward, and they've always been supportive since I joined. I've got a good teacher, the head of department, who I think you've met today, Joe.
Yeah.
And he's a really good teacher. But yeah, they've always been really willing to progress me, and I've kind of not really give them much option, because I just said I wanted to do it anyway, and I just said, can you help me? And they said yeah. But yeah, I work really hard, and I think they saw that as an opportunity to progress me and help the firm in a way.
Great. So you've talked a lot about your kind of characteristics. More generally, or maybe specifically to you, what do you think the key qualities of somebody successfully training Silex need to have?
It's a tricky question, because subjectively I would say to do this job you need set qualities, which some of them I don't even have myself. I'd say you need to have patience, but I don't have patience, so I spend most of my time in the office getting really aggy with people, which isn't a bad thing because we've got a good team, so we always blow off steam, but patience is important. You need to be confident, but that isn't something you necessarily have on the offset. It comes with experience. And when I say confidence, I don't mean confidence in yourself, I mean confidence in your decisions. Running all the files I do on my own, if I had to ask my superiors a question every time I got in a sticky situation, there would be no point me doing what I do. Yeah. So it's about having the confidence to say, although there may be a solicitor on the other side that's more experienced than me, and I may perceive them as higher up than me, I need to know that what I'm saying is right and have faith in what I'm saying, really. Organisation is key. Lots of files, lots of rules, GDPR, you can't, cross files and stuff, and time management. But again, my time management isn't great either.
You're working on it.
But yeah, I'm working on it.
And where do you see your career going in the future? What would you like to see?
I know what I want. I want to progress. I wouldn't mind being head of department, but obviously Joe's head of the department at the minute. Sorry, Joe, I don't want to take your job. Partner is ultimately what I want to do. The sooner I can do it, the better, and I'm just going to work at it until I get there. Conveyancing is quite a narrow sort of sector in Plymouth at the moment. There's a massive split between the types of conveyancers you have. There's a lot of people that have been in it for a long time, and there's not a lot of younger people. So I would say that it's probably a really good opportunity for those that are wanting to get into the legal sector. And the job's really interesting as well. It's fun, it's not boring, and I'll never really get bored in the day.
Great. Can I ask a little bit about the actual training? So what's your route through your Silex training up into where you are, eventually where you'll be? What's the kind of stages you need to go through?
So I did my degree. From the degree you do a level 6 fast track, so that's 2 exams, 5 pieces of coursework. I did 1 in conveyancing and 1 in probate. You have to pick a second practice as well. But obviously when I qualify I will be in conveyancing or property, and then you do 5 pieces of coursework. Once that's done, I've just finished my last exam, so if I've passed I'll be a qualified legal executive. You have to be a legal exec for 1 year before you can apply to qualify as a lawyer, so this time next year if I have passed then I can apply. You submit a portfolio, it's like 100 pieces of work, and it's basically me copying my files to show I've hit the points you need to hit. Once I've qualified I'll be a lawyer, and that'll be kind of the top of the qualification process unless I decided to cross-qualify into like a solicitor. The only difference between a solicitor and a lawyer is you can practice in many areas as a solicitor, but in my opinion and personally there's no point in me doing that because I've done conveyancing for so long and I know a lot. Going into another area would be pointless. Not only would it be a drop in wages because you don't know anything, but I wouldn't feel comfortable in a environment where I don't know what I'm doing coming from what I know now. So yeah, once I get to a qualified lawyer it'll just be a case of working, getting your billing up and then aiming to impress and get higher in the firm.
Yeah, succeed. My final question is, whilst you were studying at university, was there anything you were involved in or you would recommend current students being involved in that help progress your career or build confidence or anything like that?
I didn't do anything majorly academic, if I'm honest. I tried a bit of debating. I'd advise that it's fun and it gets you into that mindset of arguing against someone else's opinion, which is a big thing in law, especially in conveyancing. I would advise that people do whatever opportunities are available, but taking on small jobs I think is a big one. Working in the legal sector, any job you can do, there are skills from that you could take, whether it's customer service, just serving clients, management or organisation, anything you do, there's a chance, or 99% chance that one of those skills will be in that job. So small part-time jobs are always handy to build up all those sorts of skills that you would need. So I'd advise that, but I'd say take a time out for yourself as well, because going from studying into a law firm, you know, it's going to be busy, and it's nice to just have a bit of time before you get to that stage, because when you start your career, that's it. It's plain sailing from there.
Yeah.
So.
That's very good advice. Well-being, looking after yourself, particularly in the legal sector where there's a lot of pressure a lot of the time, regardless of what area you're practicing in.
Yeah.
Do you have any final advice you'd like to share with students that are studying law at the moment?
I would say, don't stress. If you get your exam results and you've got not what you want, you wanted a first, you've got a 2-1, or you wanted a 2-1, you've got a third, don't stress. I had some exam results where I got towards the lower spectrum of the grade scale. And because I don't like studying, I don't like revising, I've always thought, what if I don't get the grades I need? Grades are important, but they're not the number one thing. Experience is important. Like, take up that work experience, go shadow your friend that's a lawyer, go to the court and sit in the viewing area, because experience is key. And if you can show you've got that, it doesn't matter whether you've got a first, a 2-1 or no degree at all. If you've got that experience, you're more likely to get picked over anybody in that room.
That's really good advice. Okay, we're all done. Thank you so much for your help.